Well, hello there. Today in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Windows XP. Oh, that's great, Windows XP, yeah, cool. Well, we've also got some other stuff to take a look at in this video, such as Windows XP. Alright, yeah, alright, cool. What else do you got? Well, I've got some other stuff too, such as Windows XP. We got anything else? Yeah, I've got other stuff too. I've also got Windows XP. Oh, and lastly, last but not least, this one you're really gonna like. This one, also, Windows XP. Yes, that's right, folks. Today is Windows XP Day, not only on my channel, but just in general. Today is August 24th, 2021, which is the release to manufacturing date for Microsoft Windows XP. 20 years ago, this operating system blessed our computers, and Windows has never been as good since, some would say. We're going to be taking a look at, just the Windows XP experience of sort of around, the early days of Windows XP. We're going to talk about a lot of the things about Windows XP, things that people like, things that people didn't like. I feel like Windows XP, it needs no introduction for the most part. Most of the people watching this video are pretty much, I imagine pretty much everyone watching this video knows what Windows XP is, and they know, they recognize Windows XP. They probably recognize how important Windows XP was for Microsoft and, computers in general. A lot of you, many of you probably even grew up using Windows XP back in the early to mid 2000s. Either way, Windows XP was always there for us. Windows XP, my beloved. Specifically for me, Windows XP Professional, my beloved, since I grew up using Windows XP exclusively, and I never used this Home Edition thing they got going on here. But the XP Professional versus Home Edition thing is interesting, and it's one of the, key selling points, or, just like characteristics of Windows XP. How you can have the same Windows operating system at its core, but with a different edition for consumers and a different edition for businesses or prosumers, such as Windows XP Professional and Home Edition. Yeah, that's the thing, because prior to Windows XP, there was no single version of Windows that both professionals and consumers used. If you were a consumer, you were probably using a Windows 9. If you were a consumer, you were probably using a Windows 9X based operating system, such as Windows 95, 98, or even some people using Millennium Edition. And if you were a professional or a business user, you were probably using a Windows NT based operating system, such as NT4 or Windows 2000, which was based on Windows NT. So basically two separate branches of Windows for two separate markets. Microsoft was looking to close that gap after Windows 2000 with a project that they called Neptune, which was meant to be a consumer version of Windows 2000. But unfortunately, Neptune wasn't meant to be, and there was another version of Windows 9X, another version of Windows based on Windows 9X, known as Windows Millennium Edition, that was never really meant to exist. Windows 98 second edition was actually, or Windows 98 was actually meant to be the last version of Windows ever based on MS-DOS. And then second edition happened for Windows 98, and then Millennium Edition happened because Neptune was just never meant to be. In sometime around the early 2000s, Neptune ceased to be, and it became Windows Whistler. I believe Neptune and Odyssey, which was the next professional version of Windows that was meant to succeed Windows 2000, Neptune and Odyssey merged into the Whistler project in 2000. And Whistler was the code name for Windows XP. So finally, the idea of combining the consumer and professional versions of Windows into one version of Windows with different SKUs was finally being realized. And on August 24th, 2001, Windows XP was released to manufacturing. 25th of October 2001 would see it released to the retail markets for general availability. And the rest is history. Windows XP is iconic to most people. Of course, Windows XP there's some people who don't like Windows XP and some people who didn't use XP that much because they were using Macs because they were one of those people back in the early to mid 2000s. But for most of us, Windows XP symbolizes a much simpler time in the world of computing, in the internet, and just the world in general. A lot of our first experiences using the internet and, spending, a lot of time really familiarizing ourselves with the computers was done so with Windows XP powering that experience. And some of my most prominent memories, especially my earliest memories on the internet, playing games such as Club Penguin, Toontown, etc. Windows XP was what I was using. I used Windows 98 prior to that, and I think maybe even 95 a little bit. But XP is definitely the one that I remember the most and have the fondest memories of overall. It's also the one that I used the longest. I used Windows XP basically, up until, like a year or two after Windows 7 released. I think maybe by 2011 was when I finally moved away from Windows XP to Windows 7. So I used Windows XP for a lot, 7-8 years of using Windows XP primarily. Lots of fun. Of course, Windows XP was not without its flaws, of course, when it, the older versions of Windows XP, the, original versions before Service Pack 2 and such, were targets for some pretty nasty attacks such as, Sasser and Blaster, and just, many other forms of spyware, adware, stuff like that. It was the early days of the internet, and Windows was easily infected, way more so than you could ever manage with Windows 10 nowadays. But, it had 3D Pinball and Spider Solitaire, so like I said before, it is probably one of the most important, if not the most important, versions of Windows, next to Windows 95. Windows 95 might be the most important overall, potentially, but Windows XP is not far from it. It just symbolized a completely different, strategy for Microsoft and a different path for Windows in general. It was also the first time that Windows had seen a major cosmetic change since Windows 95. All versions prior pretty much iterated on the, the classic theme that was introduced in Windows 95. And it wasn't until Windows XP that we finally saw something, a change in scenery, I guess you could say, with the introduction of the Luna theme. Other features such as a 2-column start menu, fast user switching, a better concept of user accounts, Wi-Fi, better USB support, a hardened foundation, especially for those of us who were using 9X-based operating systems before that. This thing was amazing for those who were going from Windows 9X and never used NT or 2000 prior. This thing was amazing. Of course, when Windows XP came out, it was still relatively unstable. Probably more unstable than Windows 2000 was, because they were trying to pack a lot more into this than Windows 2000. So this is probably a bit more unstable than Windows 2000. But compared to 98, which is what most people were running at the time, yeah, I would imagine that this was a revelation. And it just looked so much cooler. That's a subjective thing as well, but I think most can agree that Windows XP just looked so much cooler than 98, 2000 and stuff like that. Some people don't like the theme, they call it the Fisher-Price theme, but I think that it is just a very iconic theme, as well as the Bliss wallpaper goes without saying. That is a general sense of Windows XP. In this video, we're going to be actually installing Windows XP on a rather period correct system, and we're going to be upgrading from a Windows 9X based operating system And we're going to see what the upgrade experience might have been like for someone who, you know, had a pretty good spec computer in 2001, and they were looking to upgrade from their 9X based operating system to Windows XP, and, you know, we'll see how smooth the upgrade experience is, you know, what kind of issues we might run into, you know, and just like what the experience of using Windows XP is like after the upgrade process. So I have two versions of XP here. I have Home Edition and I have the Professional Edition. So this is the one that I'm familiar with. But Home Edition is really not all that different from Professional, and it might be missing some features that Professional has, but for the most part, they're basically, you know, for the most part, they're the same operating system. They are the same operating system, just different editions with some things are missing and some things are different between them, but nothing major. In this video, I'm actually going to be using Windows XP Home Edition for the upgrade process and for, you know, the experience of early days of Windows XP. Windows XP Home Edition experience the best of the digital age, version 2002, with the Luna taskbar at the bottom. Upgrade, so this is the upgrade edition for users of Windows 98, 98 Second Edition, or Millennium Edition. So if you had any other version of Windows than those that were listed, you couldn't use this. You had to either get a retail copy, like a full retail copy, that was not an upgrade, or you had to get Professional. Top of the box here, genuine Microsoft product. There's the COA label at top, Windows XP Home Edition. Now if you see on the side here, it says the enclosed program will search your hard disk and or CD to confirm your eligibility. So if you don't have a copy of one of these three versions, it's not going to let you upgrade. And, you know, it's sort of, you know, talking about stuff such as the improved Windows Media Player. I think it was Media Player 8 in this version. You know, the improved Windows Explorer, basically, you know, an improved interface, fast user switching, and the improved login screen that was on Windows XP. And that tells you, well, you know, if you're an advanced user or need a business operating system, you should be using Professional. It's the part number, technological measures for copy protection. Yeah, so this was the first version of Windows to implement actual product activation, where you had to phone home to a Microsoft server to activate either over the internet or over the phone. But otherwise, it talks about, you know, that rock solid dependability that you get from the NT kernel instead of 9X and stuff like that. Windows XP Home Edition. There we go. System requirements are on the bottom. This is a bit of a trip. To use Home Edition, you need a PC with a 300 megahertz or higher clock speed, 233. This is 300 megahertz recommended, 233 required. Pentium, Celeron, K6 Athlon, Duron are compatible processor. 128 megs of RAM, a gig and a half a hard drive, an 800 by 600 video adapter and monitor, CD or DVD drive. And then this is all the stuff you need for the additional features, like Passport account, which is basically Microsoft account. You use this for Messenger, for networking, you need a modem or, you know, high-speed internet. Video conferencing, you might need a camera. Well, you will need a camera. Must be running Windows XP and be connected by a network for remote assist. Yeah, there you go. So this is Windows XP Home Edition. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is that this is not the RTM release of Windows XP. This is actually the Service Pack 1 release of Windows XP, which, you know, RTM and Service Pack 1 are actually very similar to each other. It wasn't until Service Pack 2 that Windows XP experienced some major changes. Service Pack 2 was a major change for Windows XP, but Service Pack 1, between RTM and Service Pack 1, it wasn't that major. So here's the inner folder sort of thing, Microsoft XP Home Edition, version 2002. The back has the product key. Doesn't really matter, but don't lose the product key. There's the CD set on the bottom. You can see this is the upgrade version of XP Home Edition. Includes Service Pack 1 version 2002. Here's the inner folder. Talks about some more of the stuff, shows Movie Maker, you know, burning CDs. On this one it says experience music, photos, gaming, the web, video, innovation, possibilities, movies, and chat. Welcome to Windows XP, and it gives you 3 steps to getting Windows XP installed on your computer. Enjoy 3 months free of MSN dial-up internet access, which I totally need, so I'm going to be signing up for that after this video, obviously. Get some good dial-up, I'm going to need that. And this uses the MSN Explorer, which was part of Windows XP. Although you could use it without having MSN dial-up internet, but you know, it's sort of the companion to this. Now that you've installed Windows XP, take a peek at all this new stuff here. The improved control panel, you know, just the improved user interface, completely different, nothing that anyone had ever seen on a Windows operating system at the time. And our quick start guide, which, you know, is just, you know, gonna help you get Windows installed and set up on your computer. Okay, so here we are on the desktop of the system that I will be upgrading to Windows XP. So here we have Windows Millennium Edition Pentium 3 CPU. This is a 1.4 gigahertz Tualatin chip. This is the fastest Pentium 3 CPU ever. So this should be more than enough for Windows XP. It was pretty common when Windows XP released to be installing it on even slower Pentium 3s than this and having it run pretty well. So a 1.4 gigahertz Pentium 3 should be no problem at all for XP Service Pack 1. 512 megs of RAM should be plenty for XP Service Pack 1, especially since the minimum is, or the recommended is 128, so 512 should be good. We have a GeForce 4 Ti 4200. It was released around the time that Windows XP came out, so a GeForce 4 Ti is perfect for Windows XP. For sound, we have an Audigy 2 ZS, which again is more of a Windows XP card. It will work perfect in Windows XP. And then I have a USB 2.0 card in here, which Service Pack 1 of Windows XP had support for USB 2.0. I don't think that RTM did, but I know that Service Pack 1 did. And I have a 3COM Etherlink 10100 Ethernet card, which should work good on Windows XP. And so there we go. So we are now going to perform the upgrade to Windows XP Home Edition, Service Pack 1. Probably won't be able to see that, but it's the Windows XP disk. And we're going to do an honest upgrade. No clean installs, just an honest upgrade to Windows XP Home Edition from Windows Millennium Edition, which is actually probably the upgrade that Microsoft really wanted you to do, was Millennium Edition to XP Home Edition, but you know, most people went 98 to Windows XP. So here we go. Welcome to Windows XP. What do you want to do? We can either install, perform additional tasks, or check compatibility. I don't really care. I'm just going to install Windows XP. Let's get going. Alright, so welcome to Windows Setup. Which type of installation do you want to perform? Upgrade, choose this option to automatically upgrade your current version. Upgrading preserves your program's data and existing settings. Or we can do a new installation to replace Windows or to install on a separate disk. Existing files may be lost. If you're unsure how to proceed, choose the upgrade. I'm going to do the upgrade. If I was going to do a clean install, I'd boot to the disk anyway. So let's go. Alright. Okay, it wants my CD key, or my product key. Whoops, I hit the camera there. Okay, so now we have the option here. Because some programs or devices might not work with XP, Setup will create a report of known issues. The report is automatically saved and can be viewed after the upgrade. If there are problems after the upgrade, you can uninstall XP and return to your current version. Show me hardware issues and a limited set of software issues. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Download the updated setup files. Setup can use your internet connection. This requires temporary collection. Skip this step, 1, because I'm not connected to the internet at the moment, but 2, I don't think this would work since Windows Update for Windows XP is not a thing anymore, so I don't even think that would work. So we're just going to skip that step. Okay, we'll see what it does. Okay, so the upgrade report has completed, and it says, has found hardware or software that might not work with Windows XP. Hardware that might need additional files, my GeForce 4, my Audigy 2ZS, and my USB 2 card. Yeah, it says my GeForce, my sound card, PMP BIOS extension, enhanced host controller, NVIDIA Desktop Manager, Audio HQ, and IntelliPoint 4, DirectX 9. Well, the DirectX 9 would make sense because DirectX 9 didn't even exist when Service Pack 1 of Windows XP was a thing. And I think that for the GeForce and the Audigy, it's because it has the Windows 9X drivers, and it probably just needs the XP drivers and it'll work fine. So let's just go ahead with the upgrade, and then when it comes up, I'll just install the Windows XP drivers and should be good to go. Because I know that the GeForce 4 and the Audigy work on XP. They were literally designed for XP, so they will work. They probably just need the right drivers. This boot screen looks so out of place without the XP label. Oh, that's nice. Good 16 colors. It looks great with this color scheme. Hey! Oh, it's even got the green colored progress bar. I haven't seen that in so long. From Service Pack 2 onwards, they didn't, put the SKU name in the boot screen. It was just Windows XP. Ooh, there we go. Back to our normal color mode, what we expect. We'll see what it does next. The last time it was on the last screen that it was on before it rebooted, it just went through that scroll bar and then that progress bar and then rebooted to here. So we'll see where this one goes. Yeah. Sadly, no sound. Dang it. It's fine. We still get the out-of-box experience. Through the magic of video editing, I can just put the music in here. Activate. Actually, no, I don't have the internet, so I can't do that. I could plug the cable into here, but... really wish I had sound right now. Okay, thanks for that wallpaper. I'm like, okay. Microsoft Windows XP Home Edition, version 2002, Service Pack 1, Pentium 3 CPU S, 1.4 gigahertz, 512 megs. Still called Figment, which is what I had named it. So that's cool. It still retains the name. So we are missing the audio controller, but the GeForce TI is working using a Microsoft driver. Am I missing anything else? No, it's just the sound driver that I'm missing, which is actually pretty nice, not bad. So it's the only driver that I'm missing. My documents, games. Oh, it's the one I had Half-Life 2 on here. Wonder if that'll still... Application has failed, yes. It's because I don't have the DirectX on here. Oh, it still has Beck on it. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, okay. Sample music, of course. Oh, it still has all the sample pictures from Windows Millennium. And then the Windows XP ones. Nice. Okay, so here's the Windows XP CD. Okay, so we can install Windows XP again. Now we have install optional components, which I don't know if there's actually any optional components. Oh yeah, there's a ton actually. There's a fax services, indexing, management and monitoring tools. Other stuff for networking, print services. Yeah, okay. I don't really need any of that, but that's cool. Set up remote desktop, set up a network, transfer files, browse a CD, install net framework. Here's the release notes. Windows XP Home Edition, Professional, and 64-bit edition, which is not x64 edition, it's 64-bit edition, which is for Itanium CPUs. It's on about for Sony Vios. There we go. Floppy drive, CD drive. I had daemon tools on here. I don't think that it preserved daemon tools. I think I lost my daemon tools. It's funny because all the software for the Audigy is still here, but the driver's gone. Because like this is all the Audigy stuff. All the stuff for the Microsoft mouse, but I think it deleted the driver for that. Got my games, got my pinball. Still says WinME because the drive was named. I had named it that because it had Windows ME on it. So that's awesome. But it did preserve my settings for showing hidden files and showing extensions for known file types. So that's cool that it was able to do that. That's awesome. Restore. I don't know what that means, but freaking Windows Millennium. This is not gonna work. This is not. Oh my god! It still has all the plus themes. I still have all my desktop themes from Windows Millennium on here. Oh, I got baseball inside your computer. I've got Windows default. Sweet. Why are those still on there? I mean, that's pretty cool though. And all the Windows Millennium wallpapers are still on here. Windows Millennium and Windows ME, the ActiveX one. Santa Fe. Actually, that might be Windows XP. See, I don't remember which ones are Windows XP. I know that one's Windows Millennium /2000. Ocean Wave, that is Millennium. This is Millennium. Jeez, so that's what an upgrade gets you apparently. You get to preserve all your themes and stuff. But why would you be using Windows XP if you weren't using Bliss and Luna? Like, see, my documents, my computer, my network places, it preserved all these icons even though I have the 2-column start menu. Because Windows Millennium had those. I think I can change that or turn those icons off, but I think I'm just gonna leave them, honestly. We got quick launch here. Not bad. Okay. Okay, here we go. So I made some changes. I fixed the driver situation, so we now have all the drivers. I installed the NVIDIA drivers. I reinstalled the sound drivers, so we are all set with drivers now. I installed DirectX 9, and yeah, here we go. Audigy 2 ZS. GeForce 4 Ti 4200. Yeah, I forgot that this had David Byrne. Not trying to get copyright claim, although I guess, do I really care? I don't know, I don't make money off these videos, but yeah, it came with David Byrne, like humans do. This is actually I used to listen to this song because it was the only song that I had on Windows Media Player, and I would just listen to this song while playing 3D pinball. You get all the cool visualizations, like you got I See the Truth, the freaky circles, smoke or water. But yeah, David Byrne, Like Humans Do, right there. I forgot that this was included with Windows because they stopped including it from Service Pack 2 onwards. Media guide. You copy from audio CDs. We're not going to do that. Radio tuner. Oh yeah, it had skins. Windows XP skin. Oh god. Headspace. Heart. Atomic. So here's the sample pictures on Windows XP. And as I said, it preserved my files from Millennium, so that's cool. It even has Beck on here still. Oh no. But yeah, it still has Beck. Like, look at that from Windows Millennium. Oh yeah. Sweet. Stock or sample Windows XP music. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other things that Windows XP could do. Well, for one thing, Windows XP introduced the improved fast user switching. So I'll add another account here. I'll make this one John and Josh. It's really good, right? And I can make this a limited account. And if we change the account type here, you can see it explains it. So there you go. You can change its picture to, there we go. You can also give this one a password, but I'm not going to. And then we can also turn the guest account on. So if we turn on the guest account, I'm just going to leave the picture like that. And now you can change the way users log on, log off. So now we have fast user switching, so you can quickly switch users. And we'll use the welcome screen. So if I want to log off and hit switch user, now we're at the Windows XP login screen, and I can just choose an account. So you can see here, yeah, all this fresh Luna theme, different icons on the desktop. It doesn't have the same music and pictures that I have. It has its own unique documents, and this is Josh. So now if I switch, I can switch back to my account, type in my password, and it brings me right back where I left off. And then I can switch, go back to Josh, and there we go. And when I'm done with Josh, I can log off, and it will log off the account, and then go back to the login screen, but my account's still logged in. So I can get right back to my work. There we go. So that was unique to Windows XP, or was new to Windows XP. Let's do the tour. Let's do the animated tour.
Welcome to Windows XP from Microsoft, the new version of Windows that brings your PC to life. Experience the best. Experience Windows XP. See for yourself how easy Windows XP is to use. Take this brief tour.
Let's take a look at the basics.
Friendly new screens, simplified menus, and a whole lot more. Discover Windows XP's fresh, streamlined design. Get acquainted with key tasks and basic commands. The Windows desktop. Using Windows XP is simple. First, you'll see the large colored area on the screen called the desktop, and the narrow band at the bottom called the taskbar. Icons. The small pictures you see on the desktop are called icons. Think of them as doorways to the files and programs stored on your computer. Place your mouse over an icon. Text appears identifying its name or contents. To open the file or program, double-click the icon. Start menu. The Start menu appeared automatically the first time you ran Windows XP. You can return to the Start menu anytime by clicking the Start button on the taskbar. Windows XP makes personal computing easy and easier to learn and use. Windows XP brings a brand new visual style to your computer, friendly, fresh, and streamlined. Cleaner lines, richer colors, smarter organization, easier ways to get where you want to go and do what you want to do. The simplified Start menu automatically puts your most frequently used programs in plain view, never more than one click away. Faster, smarter, safer. Windows XP packs the punch you need for top performance and enjoyment. You get all the power and dependability of Microsoft's most advanced operating system technology.
There's a couple other things in here though, like Windows Movie Maker was updated. No, it wasn't. This was before Windows Movie Maker received its major update, which was part of Service Pack 2, I believe. So the Movie Maker that's in here is similar to that of Windows Millennium Edition. So if we start a new project and import some stuff here, I don't actually know how to use this Movie Maker. That's how bad I am at this thing. Oh, okay, I was just doing it. I was doing something wrong. I was playing it wrong, but that's nice. This one didn't really have any of those cool like transitions or effects that, you know, the Movie Maker that we know of on Windows XP had. In fact, it doesn't really have anything at all. There's not really much you can do with this other than piece clips together. So not the best version of Movie Maker ever, but you know, that came with Service Pack 2, which I have not installed. This was more close to the OEM experience. So we also have System Restore, which debuted in Windows Millennium Edition, but they made better for Windows XP. And create a restore point. And you can do that, and now it creates a restore point for there. Now I could restore that if something went wrong. Not much else in here, but we also have some cool screensavers, such as my favorite, which is 3D pipes, because, you know, of course. You can have multiple pipes. How about some ball joints? Choose texture. There we go. Perfect. We have 3D Maze. This is a classic, obviously, which goes really fast on this computer. It's really smooth, I like that. 3D Flying Objects. Do the Windows logo, of course. Could also do things like 2 ribbons. Nice. 3D Flower Box. Size larger, we'll do cylinder, 2-sided, slanted. Would you believe this was like top of the line in 2001? 3D text, choose font, Comic Sans MS, bold italic, resolution high, rotation speed, seesaw, help me. go. Sweet. And of course, just the standard but classic Windows XP screensaver. But, you know. Some other things, I mean, obviously this had the internet games, which were actually in Windows Millennium, and unfortunately I can't play these because they brought the servers down. I think it was last year. But it's fine because we can play Spider Solitaire, so that's fine. Why am I playing this? Sweet. Yes, I'm still playing this. I'm not sure why I did that, but yeah, cool. That mostly covers a lot of Windows XP stuff, though. Of course, I didn't activate. I mean, I don't have internet access, so I could try phone activation. Okay.
Welcome to Microsoft Product Activation. Now, which kind of product would you like to activate?
Windows.
Okay, Windows. Now, take a look at your screen. I'll ask you to tell me the installation ID. The installation ID is a long number broken into several groups. I'll ask you for one group at a time. Please say or enter the digits in Group 1. Great. Group 2. Okay, now Group 3. And now Group 4. All right. Group 5. Okay, now Group 6. All right. Group 7. Okay, now Group 8. All right. And finally, what's the last group? Got it. Thanks. One moment, please, while I look that up. Verified. Now, I will read the confirmation ID. Block A is 0, 2, 7, 6, 6, 1. Block B is, Block C is, Block D is, Block E is, Block F is, Block G is. To return to the very first block, say Start Over. If you've finished entering the digits for all of the blocks, say I'm finished. Or to hear the number again, say Repeat. Otherwise, whenever you're ready, click on the Next button.
So I think that about wraps it up. We have Windows activated and smooth sailing. So I think we're ready to wrap this up. Happy 20th to Windows XP. Long live Windows XP. Very important operating system to me when I was growing up. And, you know, it's just awesome. So And thank you folks for watching. And I hope you enjoyed. It was kind of a long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching this retrospective 20 years later of Windows XP. And until next time, see you folks later.